What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be building the popular Petra styling station. Alright guys, so for this station you're going to need the following screws. They're all listed by letter. So for this station I always find it easier to start off with the drawer. So we're going to start off with the sides of the drawer first, and we're going to use the screws that has the letter A. There's a cap and there's also the screw itself. So right now what I'm doing is I'm putting in the caps on the left and right side of the drawer, and then you're going to come in with the screws. Just make sure that you twist it in a little bit, and then you're going to come in with your electronic screwdriver and tighten them up. We're going to do the same thing with the back piece. Just make sure you're placing the screws in place and pushing them in, and then putting the screws in. And then now we're going to do the same with the front of the drawer. Now we're going to bring the back of the drawer and we're going to connect the back and front pieces. That's where we're going to come in with our silver caps. After placing them in, you're going to go in with a regular screwdriver and then tighten them up. Then we're going to put in our side pieces to the drawer. Just align the screws with the holes on the sides, and then you're going to go back in with those silver cams and then tighten those up with a screwdriver as well. Now with this, you want to make sure that when you're tightening them up, you want to turn them all the way until you can't turn them anymore, and then just make sure that you're putting in all the cams in, because sometimes you can forget some. Next, we're going to connect our front facing panel onto the entire drawer, and we're going to do this with the screws listed E. We start off with the handle just so it sits in place, and then we're going to come in with our F screws and we're going to place those in so that way it sits in place even more. Now with this, just make sure you're drilling the screw all the way into place. Next, we're going to place our key and lock with the bag listed as G1. You're going to put the lock in first, and then you're going to put the metal ring that comes around it on the other side. Once the lock and key is in place, you're going to screw in the G2 screws, and there's 4 of them, so just make sure that you drill it all the way to the base. Next, we're going to go into the top board, and over here we're going to use the same cap screws. We're going to put the caps in first, and then we are going to put the screws in, and then like I said, use the electronic screwdriver to put them in. Once that's done, we're going to go in with our wooden stems, and you're going to place them in the smaller holes. It's just to give it more reassurance when we are tightening them in. And then we're going to do the bottom piece of the station. We're going to go back in with those cams first, and then we're going to put the screws first and then drill all of them into place, and then the wooden stems are going to go back in. Now we want to connect the bottom boards first before we place them onto the main bottom board, and then you're going to connect them all together. We're going to go back in with our silver cams and tighten them up with a regular screwdriver. And there you go, that's the bottom piece. Then we're going to go on the top and put those cam screws back in, tighten them up, put the wooden stems, and you've got the bottom piece of the station. Once that's done, we're going to come to the doors. We are placing the hinges with the letter C on the back, and we are going to tighten them with the screws labeled F1. And we're just going to drill those in all the way to the base. It only takes 2 screws for each hinge. So when doing this, just make sure you're drilling all the way to the base. Next, we're going to connect the handles to each door. Just make sure that you're using the shorter screws, and then you're going to place the handle on and tighten them up as well. And then we're going to come in and do the sides of the station now. Same thing, they use the cam screws, the green and cam screws. You're just going to place the caps first, and then you're going to place the screw. And as always, we're just going to screw those in all the way to the bottom with our electronic screwdriver. There's a lot of screws, guys, so just take your time with it and just make sure that you're placing them in correctly and that you're also tightening them up. And then we're going to bring in the wooden stems again and just make sure that they're all filled. And now we can set up the back of the station. We're just going to put 2 cap screws in, and then we're going to connect the bottom piece, put 3 silver cams and tighten those up, and then we're going to put the middle board in. After finishing up with the back piece, we can come in with our side and connect it all together, and then each piece that you're putting on, we're going to use silver cams and we're going to tighten them up with the screwdriver. There's a couple of cams, so just make sure you get to them all, so that way every piece of the station is set up and locked in. Once one side is in place, then we can go ahead and put in the other side, and we're going to connect this side as well with the silver cams. In doing so, just make sure that you're tightening up the cams all the way and that you're not missing any. Now with these silver cams, you can go in with a handheld screwdriver. Me, I was just using a electronic screwdriver. Either works. Next, we're going to put on the doors. We're going to turn the station to its side, and then we are going to line up the door hinges with the holes that are on the station. It's all pre-made, so it's easier for you guys. We're going to go back in with those short pointed screws and then just drill them all in. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. We're going to go back in with those pointed screws. Just make sure that you're drilling all in all the way to the base. There are 4 for each hinge. And if the door isn't aligned fully, we can use the 2 screws on the hinges. Just twist it to whatever works for you guys. Once that's done, we can come in with the top of the station, just line up the holes and place it on top, and then you can put in those silver cams again. Just use a screwdriver, whether electronic or a regular one, whatever works for you. Once that's done, we can put our decorative rings in, just place them in the holes, and then we can put our drawer that we completed in just by lining up the railing and pushing it in. And there you have it, guys, a brand new Petra styling station all assembled. If you guys would like to shop one of these or some of our other various salon stations, the link will be down below.